day or night. The food is good, the price is right. You can eat dinner.
My memory of Sambo's is when I was really young. For some reason, my cousins liked to go to Sambo's. And as a young person, well, you know, that was pretty much what I had to do. There was something about the name that bothered, because I knew what the name meant. The thing about it was that the reputation was that the pancakes were like out of this world. One time when we went, it either took so long or it became clear that we weren't going to get served.
Dine for $1.99 at Sambo's. Now, till May 11th, our dinner special is...
African American parents who were born in the 30s actually had Little Black Sambo as a reading. That was the name of a book, and they actually had that as reading instruction. So, but this was all part of the memory. So you knew what that was, and the fact that your parents actually read this, you know, you knew what they had been taught, and you knew how to question it. By the early 1970s, it became more difficult for that kind of image or iconography to be interpreted as benign or innocuous sales technique. To the extent that people interpret it as normal, natural, or that's just a figurine, then they're not going to be offended. You know, if they understand or interpret that idea that's connected to very specific political and economic practices, and you object to the practice, or that the practice is somehow connected to you in a way that impacts your freedom, then you're going to be offended. When I taught at the University of Alabama, I used a particular documentary that analyzed a lot of this, and a lot of my students who were white reacted to the film because, and not with anger, but they, you know, it was evocative for them, and you know, because they had parents, particularly grandparents, who had these images, so they had grown up with them. You know, it was part of their upbringing, and so, but they had no knowledge of what it meant. So when we were talking about this, and some of them, you know, felt pretty guilty. I said, well, actually, this is not about you. You know, you didn't know. You know, how would you know? That was the whole point, to make sure that people didn't know what it was connected to. Part of the trick is to minimize or conceal the hypocrisy or the immorality. The real question is why and how this was tolerated and abetted in terms of jurisprudence, in terms of, you know, public policy. These are the kinds of things that really matter in terms of, you know, I don't care if somebody doesn't like me, but I want to be protected if that person takes it upon him or herself, you know, to take advantage of me. You see, I think that's the real question. What's the relationship between morality and jurisprudence? And sometimes there isn't.
Something good.